Yeah, been kind of busy lately. In all the time that it's been since I released a Between the Frames video, still been buying lots of figures, posting a few on my Instagram. I did a review of Super 7 Raphael, of NECA, King Kong, and my custom Ninja Turtle sewer. But here's a bunch of stuff that I can't remember if I posted or not, so we're just going to go over some of it right now to start this bad boy off, huh? So this is the McFarlane White Knight Batman figure. McFarlane and their DC figures, man, that's been quite the tumultuous relationship that those two have had, but honestly I like this figure a lot. I actually won this from a Toy Migos giveaway. They do their Quickie Mini episodes, They're Not Dolls, on Toy Migos YouTube channel, check it out. But every now and then they do giveaways, and I just happened to win this one. So I wouldn't have bought this off the shelf myself, just because, you know, like I said, McFarlane. But I kind of like it, like a lot. It's really good. So yeah, you know, like I say, 20 bucks would have stayed in my pocket. But now that I know how good of a figure it is, I can honestly recommend it. If you have to like this version of Batman, you have to like that story, or you know, otherwise it won't make a ton of sense to you. But either way, yeah, good. And speaking of McFarlane, here we got his boy Spawn. This is actually the Mortal Kombat version of Spawn. This is the third version of that character to come out, well, that figure I should say. He's got the axe. The first one had a sword, the second one had like a mace, like club type thing. I like it. This is actually really good, and for all intents and purposes it looks way more promising than that Kickstarter Spawn that has been steadily losing articulation ever since it was announced. I think many people are going to look at this as like their go-to articulated Spawn for a long time. Got these guys from Burnout Inc. Some time ago he reached out and let me know he was getting rid of some figures, so of course I jumped on a few. Got the Shield Agent there and the two Hydra Goons, and I also got a Nightcrawler, but wound up giving that over to Mountain Man because I already had Nightcrawler. I originally bought it thinking I was going to make a custom, but then I remembered that I already have no time to do anything, so I don't know when I thought I was going to get a custom done. But yeah, he threw in some weapons and stuff too, so these guys look cool. I never actually had any of the Hydra Goons before, so I like them. Speaking of Marvel Legends, got quite a few going on over here. This is the X-Force 3-pack. You got Psylocke, you got Phantom X, and your man, Nimrod. And I gotta say, Nimrod's pretty impressive. I have like a slight issue inside the torso where it won't twist, so I'm gonna have to like see if I can heat and pop that, or if I can put some kind of shock oil in there or something. But I do like Nimrod. Visually, he's really cool. Psylocke and Phantom X are of course in their X-Force costumes from Uncanny X-Force, which I'm reading actually pretty concurrently with when I bought these figures. I started with the 2008 X-Force, and then I went into Uncanny right after it. Really cool. I like it. And this Phantom X figure, as far as I can tell, is much better than the first one they released. And this X-Force Psylocke is actually in a different costume than the San Diego one, with like the longer leggings and stuff. Unusual costume choice, I think, but I do like the figure. Then we got the 2-pack, Rogue and Pyro. This is the like Utopia era Rogue. So she was I say depowered, but she had a number of different abilities than like the 90s Jim Lee style Rogue that we're used to. And I know I've seen reviewers with her like up on flight stands flying and all that, and I don't think she could fly at that time, so you know, you guys gotta just read your freaking comic. Pyro, I didn't like the flame effects that he came with. I mean, well, the effects were fine, but I didn't like how they went over his hands, because Pyro doesn't really like punch you with fire. He just manipulates fire into like big creatures or like weapons or whatever. I don't know, just whatever suits his fancy at the time. That muzzle flare thing is actually the other one of Phantom X's gun muzzles, and it really looks cool in Pyro's flamethrower, I think. So I like Pyro. People say that he's a little bit too muscular, but I can see that argument, but I don't mind, honestly. I like the figure. And Rogue is nice too. I actually do really like this Rogue. Got that Spider-Man. That's the Spider-Man animated series, like retro carded figure. I got Peter Parker too, but I have different plans for what I'm going to do with him. And then this webbing is actually just all the twisty ties that like have come on various NECA figures over the past couple weeks that I've been buying, or months I should say probably. But yeah, this Spider-Man figure is easily Marvel Legends' best Spider-Man. And I say that as a big fan of the Pizza Spidey, but I think this one definitely takes everything that figure did and makes it even better. So we got some wrestlers now for the wrestling crowd. Did get this Triple H in China 2-pack. I like what they did with Triple H, the open hands, being able to switch in and out. That's cool. You can probably see he's got some detailing on the knee pads and stuff, some blue on the gear. I'm glad they went with this head sculpt, because I actually really do like this head sculpt for like an Attitude Era Triple H. I dig it. But obviously the highlight is China. This is the first China figure. I think they did a great job sculpting like the gear and painting like the rips on the pants and the boots with like the tongue sticking out and stuff. Really cool. I will say mine has a little bit of a, I don't know if it's just intentional or not. I can't imagine it would be. But you'll see like on her neck, like her top kind of like just stops at her shoulder. And it's molded to go around her back as well, but they just didn't paint it. So that might be something I have to touch up myself. We'll see. So I got a message from my man Rattlehead, who pops on the channel every now and then, leaves comments and whatnot. But he was getting rid of some stuff. So he hit me up and was like, hey man, I'm selling off a few things. If there's anything you can think of you want, let me know. We'll work it out. And so I was like, well, I never got those ringside Hardys or the ringside Kane / Undertaker or that Attitude Era Rock. And he just sent me a picture like within a day of like all of those figures just in pristine condition. I'm like, okay, looks like we're doing this. So I'm finally happy to have these Hardy Boys. This is a really nice set. The cloth shirts, the tie-dye looks good. The like all the designs and stuff on Jeff and Matt's like gear. Well, Jeff's more than Matt's. I guess Matt's is a little more plain, but yeah, I like these figures a lot. And they do come with the titles too, which is a nice touch. I'm happy to have classic Hardy Boys because I do have like some modern versions. Like I have one Matt and one Jeff, I think, of, or no, I'm sorry, two Matts and one Jeff of like the modern Hardys. So seeing these, really cool. Definitely plan on using these at some point in the video. Stay tuned. Yeah. And then the Rock. This is a nice figure in his $500 shirt, straight out of the Attitude Era. This is awesome. The head sculpt is really nice. The face looks pretty spot on as far as I can tell. So yeah, that's not bad at all. I still prefer the Walmart exclusive Elite Rock head sculpt, but this one, definitely nice. Yeah, I'm gonna pair this up with like the Ultimate Rock when I get that, and I'll have like a awesome street gear Rock and a, you know, wrestling gear Rock. And then this, many people have this already obviously, but this is Kane. Well, this is actually Undertaker disguised as Kane. Yeah, not bad. This is from a match in '98 when Kane and Mankind came out, and then Kane just beat up Mankind, and then it turned out it was Undertaker, and everybody was like, oh, whoa, what in the world? Undertaker would actually do that more than once, because this is clearly from '99, because he's like Ministry Undertaker with just the long goatee, and this is '98 in the package with like the mustache and the goatee and everything. But yeah, he fooled us all more than once, so shame on us. And lastly, this will mean nothing to anybody, but I got the old school, like, what was it, 2012? So it's not that old school, I guess, but Playmates Classics Raphael. Now, if you watched my Which Ninja Turtles Are Best video, you'll know that I actually had the other three turtles from this line, but never got Raphael. And I was like, yeah, the prices on these never really got any higher since these came out, so they're not really that expensive. I think I wound up getting Raphael for like 22 bucks. I saw somebody had him loose, complete, in good shape. I was like, you know what, it's time. So now I have completed yet another set of the 4 Ninja Turtles. As if I needed to, right? So yeah, that's been the spoils over the past, I don't know, while. Batman's Grade 8 Vegeta. It's pretty awesome. Gotta admit, I'm a little jealous. I like it. Well, floor's a mess, but got some dioramas. That's just gonna be a giant building. No idea really where I'm going with that yet, but I mean, I like it so far. This thing here I've really made no kind of discernible progress on in like months and months. I will finish it eventually. There's Apocalypse standing in front of it from the new Hasbro Age of Apocalypse version, which I like. So here's what I've been messing with. It's kind of a war room / conference room. They kind of meet up in this like sci-fi bunker looking thing and, you know, discuss their mission or whatever. But I wanted to do something kind of interesting, so I went with a more of a round shape. Like the floor is not, it's not, the whole room isn't just like a big rectangle. It's kind of like octagonal. Well, I mean, I guess it's a half an octagon because of just my open-endedness on this side here, but that's the X-Force Wolverine from the Wendigo wave, and that's actually the Peter Parker body with one of the Scott Summers heads from the Love Triangle 2-pack. It's not perfect, but from the angles, you can make it work. It kind of looks awkward if you have him like just looking straight ahead. I don't know if it's like, I don't know, the head peg is a little too long, I think. But I don't know, as a casual Scott Summers, to me this works. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with this diorama so far. I'm happy with how it's turning out. It's basically done. I will say though, I would like to redo the lights, because the way I have it here is, you can probably tell, like, it's not evenly distributed, because it's like the 10 little like LED lights that you get in a strip that I hollowed out and put back there. But I would like to make that a little bit more flat, a little bit more even. So I kind of got to go back to the drawing board with that. But I do want that to have like kind of an illuminated like computer screen when it's all said and done. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy. And I might as well show you this one while I'm here. It's just, this is drying, so I don't want to mess with it. But there's going to be like a little staircase in front of this and like some trim around the doorway. And yeah, this is the tallest building I ever made. It's going to be, typically I kind of max out at about here. And that's a whole another 12 inches. So yeah, that's going to be big. And what am I going to do with this? It's anybody's guess. So the Doom shelf, the Doom shrine, has been updated considerably. Mountain Man actually found a pretty good deal on the, was it the collector's edition, I guess. So it came with the helmet, came with the UAC, oh no, I'm sorry, it didn't come with the key card, it came with a cassette tape that, you know, just says Doom Eternal soundtrack. Really cool. What else does it have? It has like one of these little books, that one on the side there, that actually has like all the codex entries from the game with like all the artwork and everything. Really, really cool. The helmet obviously is the coolest display piece, I think. But if you look in the back there, you got this kind of like picture of like the Con Maker and the Night Sentinels and all this stuff going on. So had to somehow get all that going. That's actually framed. I put that in a little frame, so that's cool. But yeah, all this stuff, man, like the Doom display is really popping. I also set up this little small display of the Marauder fighting the Doom Slayer, the McFarlane figures. Painted up some rocks to look hellish and bloody and whatnot, but I also found that skull mask from, it was like $5 below, it probably cost me $1, but I painted it up to look like one of the Titan skulls that you come across in the game that's just like set dressing and scenery. It's hell, so I wanted it to look scary and bloody and awful, so I think I did a pretty decent job at that. It's a cool little display piece regardless. And of course you got all your Doom literature here, all the old school books, along with the new one that I just mentioned. So yeah, I mean, I can't wait for the DLC to come out. What is it, about, as I shoot this, it's about a week and a half away, so might even wear that helmet while I'm playing. Just to give you an idea, here's the door to come into the apartment, and that's the first thing you see, just the Doom shelf. So just imagine a lady coming in this apartment, that's gonna be the first thing she sees. She's gonna be like, okay, where's the bedroom? So here we have a giant box. This box is from Kevin over at 4star918, the YouTube channel known as Stop Motion Dickery. As far as I know, the videos and stuff are still up, but he's moved on to some different things, bigger and better things that he feels are a little more fulfilling than his stop motion animation, so I can't be mad at him for that. Anyway, he reached out a while back and asked if I wanted some things, and I was like, yeah, sure. And so they arrived today. It's a lot of things. Let's take a look. So that was the bin marked guns, and yeah, there were some guns in there. Jesus, look at this. This is quite a selection, and there was even more than just guns in there, which we'll get to. But I mean, like, a lot of these look like they're more of a Legends stuff, either, you know, Hasbro or Toy Biz. Like, I do recognize some from like the Hasbro Punisher, or I mean, I'm sorry, the Toy Biz Punisher. These are for the Hasbro Hydra guys, it looks like. Because that looks like the Hydra symbol on the stock there, which is actually cool because I did just get those Hydra guys from Burnout Inc., so they can have official guns if they want. But like some of these, I'm not even sure what they're from. They're just like 1/12 scale, various different guns of all kinds, I guess. You got this one here that's RCP-90. My GoldenEye heads know what I'm talking about. Some rocket launchers. Got a baby too. That may in fact be the baby that was handed off to Jessica Jones in the Spider-Man vs. Scorpion animation on his channel. Bunch of handguns and stuff. That's Hellboy's gun right there, dead center. I'd recognize that anywhere. You got the BPRD logo on the handle. You got Batman's like grapple gun there too. That's from like the DC DC Superhero. No, I'm sorry, the DC Universe Classics, like Series 1 Batman. So, yeah, a lot of guns. Also freshened up the X-Men shelf display a little bit. You can see I got a custom head for Beast, once I focus in on that. Painted it up. Looks good. He's not so angry with his book that he's reading anymore. So the Beast head sculpt that came on that figure was like constantly shouting. So I prefer a more neutral expression when he's just kind of standing around. So I think this works, and I did a pretty decent job of matching up the paint. So I like that. And I also did get the entire Strong Guy wave, which is the newest Deadpool wave with like Warpath and X-Men Deadpool and that stupid pirate Deadpool and like a couple others. I like Strong Guy. He's a great Build-A-Figure though, and he looks really cool with his X-Factor teammates. And I believe I added one more multiple man since I showed this last, so really cool. I'm always happy to get more X-Men. Got those AEW figures too. Got the Bubbly Jericho I did a review on, but I got the regular Jericho, the Bucks, Cody, and I got Kenny Omega, but he's not in the ring right now. I actually got two Kenny Omegas because one had his face messed up when I got him, so I had to buy another one. And so that was that. This Jericho, I really like the face sculpt on, actually. It's just really, I don't know, it perfectly encapsulates Jericho like as he appears today, I think. Cody's good, the Bucks are good. I like this AEW ring, the basic one. It's a little bigger than like the Mattel rings and a little more sturdy because it doesn't have that spring going on with it. Yeah, so far I'm impressed with the line. I'm happy to see where it goes from here. So here's a bunch of swords and or just melee weapons. A lot of these are familiar to me. Some of them, well actually the majority of them are not. There's definitely a few I recognize there, like the Deadpool katanas. There's like some, I don't know, like Daredevil nunchucks, some like Thor hammer looking things. They look a lot like Mjolnir. Oh yeah, all the old school people recognize those shovels, the Jack Specific bone crunching shovels, and the ECW San Francisco Toy Makers shovel. Yeah, not bad. What's actually really cool is these are the knives that came with the old Warpath figure from the 2-pack. Now my current Warpath from the Strong Guy Build-A-Figure wave doesn't have any knives because it just didn't come with any, so now that problem's taken care of. Or I can give him these bad boys because these come out of the pockets. I like them. They look pretty good too. I like these big giant weapons though, like the shields and like the big bludgeoning things. It looks like it's straight out of hell from Doom Eternal. I love it. Got some cap shields back there, Toy Biz and Hasbro. I don't know if these are like Terax weapons or not. I think I recognize them, but I can't be sure. And then some of these are like 1/6 scale stuff. Like this thing here is really nice. And you'll see it's actually got like metallic finish to it. And the little sheath that it's on, really well detailed. Yeah, I really like this a lot. I have no idea what it goes to, but it's pretty cool. Then you got some other just stabby weapons. Oh, this is actually really cool too. I wish I had this when I was making the Mortal Kombat stop motion. It's a little spine. You could probably hang somebody's head off it, but look, it's bendy. Oh my god, a bendy wire spine? What in the world? And as I mentioned, this isn't even like all the knives. Like this is, like I'm not going through all this. There's just a lot. One day, like when I have like 10 hours ahead of me, I'll do that. But lots of stuff here. Oh, lest we forget the barbed wire bats from Cactus Jack. We all know those. That looks like Deathstroke's staff, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know who that little scepter thing belongs to, but it looks like the time thing from TMNT 3, the movie. That's pretty cool. I mean, the movie's not, but this thing is. So I feel like we should talk about this setup I got going on here. Got a nice Super Tiger Pro Wrestling mat from Ring Skirts. Put it on my ring. I got the yellow turnbuckle pads from, was that Wrestling Superstore, I think? I believe so. I don't remember exactly. I want to say that's what it was. But yeah, I made myself a little Super Tiger setup. See, the idea is I'm going to start up a little Instagram for Super Tiger. Actually, it's already started. Right now, there's not much on there. I think it's just a picture of that logo and a picture of Kenny Omega on the stage. But I figure that'll give me an opportunity to use some of these figures I never use, including the AEW figures and some Mattel figures that I just don't really mess with. So, you know, you might see something like the Hardy Boys. They might fight the Young Bucks. Who knows? And it'll be like shorter snippet type animations, like, I don't know, small clips, highlight packages basically. Might be some like photography on there, just like, I don't know, little different things. I want to be a little bit more free with it than I am with JWF, where everything is kind of storyline driven. That's not to say you won't see JWF talent in Super Tiger, because that kind of was the whole point of it, but, you know, I'm just having some fun, and hopefully if you like JWF, you'll come check out Super Tiger on Instagram. But the stage right now is pretty plain. You got the little rampway that leads right up to the ring, so I do like that. It's very similar to another stage that I built very recently that, well, I'll show off one of these days. Or maybe you've seen it already, just not on my channel. But yeah, there's going to be like a Tron screen, I think, back there. Just something cool, I don't know, something that sets it off, because right now it is, you know, very plain. Or is it? Who do you think you are talking to the captain that way? Where is it? There we go. Yeah. So, we get it lit up, and bomb. Pretty nice, I think. So, yeah, that's something else I'm working on when I have time, which is never. But yeah, hopefully I've convinced those of you who are interested in JWF and stop motion wrestling and just little different things here and there to check out Super Tiger on Instagram. I think you'll like it. We're going to be a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more laid back, a little more casual. And I feel like, just in case Bash needs to be convinced, yeah, you know who's going to be in Japan. So now we get to the bin marked household items-ish. There's a lot. Once again, kind of overwhelming actually. See some traffic cones, you see Kingpin's cane there. That thing there, that wire, came with the Weapon X Wolverine. Got this watermelon with a bite taken out of it that came with, I believe, Blanca from the Soda Street Fighter line, which I actually had the blue version, but then I sold it, so I mean, now I got his watermelon, nobody's here to eat it. You got some dog tags and a whistle, I believe. Those are really cool. That's actually this drenched up Batman Beyond mask from the Terry McGinnis figure from DC Universe Classics, and that is the Spider-Man mask. I don't know if it's from Stan Lee or from one of the Quick Change Toy Biz Spider-Mans, but it's really cool. You got like some pumpkin bombs, a pineapple, Peter Parker's camera. Move on over here, we got some sweet guitars. That's awesome. Over there you got some beers and a big bottle of liquor. Some weapons racks, which are really cool. I mean, I just made one, but probably get some use out of these too. A couple of cats. You got these shrunken heads who are really cool. So if Storm Collectibles or anybody ever gets around to making Dalsim, I think they'll come in handy. Or, matter of fact, what's Elite Papa Shango? He might need these. This is pretty cool too. It's like a little like built-in like computer station kind of thing. This just pops down, pops up. I like it. I don't know if it's missing a part here or something else comes with this, but as it is right now, it's a standalone piece and it's really cool. A couple of books. Sunnydale High 99. Those of you Buffy the Vampire Slayer fans will know what that is. And then how to play cards, because I guess cards is just a game. Handcuffs and a chain from Ghost Rider. Back here is where things start to get kind of interesting. You got, I don't know, like some boombox, and that's like a Barbie medical kit. A couple of coolers. Got a couple of red ones here. I had the blue one that I used in my Mortal Kombat animation, Sub-Zero's friendship. So that's nice. You got a bone crunching action Mankind mask. That's interesting. Everybody wants to know what that is. Well, that's a Jack specific trash can from Bone Crunching Action. And this is actually really cool. So it's not opened at all. It's basically just like a, I don't know. It's like a Asian like backdrop type setting with like the instrument and the wall panels. Forgive me, I don't know the names of any of these things, but yeah, it looks really cool. So I'll find a use for that, definitely. One of the cooler things I found in here were these like light fixtures. Looks like they magnetize up to stuff. So you could like build a magnet into your diorama and just pop these right on and you could have lights. That's really cool. I don't think they like actually illuminate, but as like standalone pieces, I think they look awesome. And you got a bunch of different ones here. And you know, honestly, I like these a lot. So that's really cool. As we move to the back, some of the more interesting things I found. You got a couple of those bendable steel girders there. You got a lamp. You got a Professor X wheelchair. You got this little small Sentinel guy that came with probably one of the X-Men Classics figures, which I think is really cool, especially with the big Sentinels coming out next year from HasLab and the Bastion and the Sentinel Prime figure and everything. So this will be a pretty cool little add-on. Got like a nice helmet. I think that's like Arnim Zola's head and like controller thing. You got like some kind of a military harness back there behind him. Yeah, it's like a military harness, basically. Pretty cool. A dark side Build-A-Figure piece, like I can add that to my drawer of Build-A-Figure pieces that I just don't have the rest to. And that's the stop-motion Dickory dumpster that has appeared in many of his animations. I think that might be a Grapple Gear dumpster from Jakks Pacific, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what that is. So I'm definitely going to get some use out of that. That's awesome to have. So overall, yeah, that's like 3 decent-sized bins worth of stuff. And man, I gotta hand it to Kevin. He did a lot of cool stuff with his animation and stuff over the years, and he hasn't done any of it recently, as I mentioned. He's been moving on to bigger and better things, but for him to reach out and pass this along to me, he knows I'll use it. So I definitely appreciate it. As I say, check out his old channel. I think most of his stuff is still up. And I don't know, just take yourself on a blast from the past and go back and appreciate some of the old school stuff.
That's crispy.